Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. First, let me say my editing program is messed up, so I won't be able to cut the beginning and cut the very end. So you're going to see me click in and out of one program that I use to record. But anyway, we're still going to make these videos because until I get another program so I can do more editing, we're just going to continue on making videos anyway. But in this video here, what I want to do is we're going to talk about the windshield and the JFK assassination. Now, a lot of people's claimed, about a frontal shot that went through the windshield and struck JFK in the throat, and then they also claimed that was a fatal headshot that came through the windshield and struck JFK in the head. But what we're going to do here is we're going to go by photographic evidence. We're not going to go by hearsay or claims or anything else like that. We're going to go by photographic evidence. Now, first one I want to pull up is Altgen's image number 6. Okay, this is the colorized version. I colorized this. As you see here, okay, which we're going to zoom in right here. Hold on. Okay. Now, as you see here, JFK was already shot in the throat because we can see this by him holding with his arms up to his throat and everything else, his hands up to his throat. And as you see, there is no crack or any kind of hole or anything like that in the windshield itself. Okay, this is a proven fact. So we know this wasn't a throat shot, and we know this definitely wasn't a fatal headshot because that came from a different location. But where did that shot come from, or that hole came from? Okay, so what we're going to do here, and like I said, when I do my research, I do it totally different. Okay, I'm not going to pull out one image and say, here you go, here's a hole in the windshield. This is a frontal shot right here. Okay, this was a shot that struck JFK in the throat. Okay, that's a story added up to it. Okay, I don't base none of my research on any of that stuff. I based on what we can see and if it fits a story or if it fits, eyewitness account stuff, just like right here. Okay, when I was going over the windshield, first thing I did was I looked at Altgen's image number 6, okay, which is this image here, and we see that JFK was already shot in the throat. And we see there is no bullet hole or anything in the windshield. So then when I went ahead and looked over Altgen's image number 7, okay, which is this one right here, we now can see there is a destruction right here, something in the windshield. Okay, now this actually lines up to the other images of the windshield stuff, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. But we know now we can see there is damage to the windshield right here in Altgen's image number 7. So what I did was I went ahead and lined up Altgen's image number 6 and Altgen's image number 7 to the Zapruder film to find exactly when, so I know what kind of a time frame to work with on when the shot took place. Okay, so Altgen's image number 6 lines up with frame 254 to Zapruder film. This was after the throat shot. Okay. And we see in frame 254 of this Zapruder film, which I'm going to zoom in right now, right here. And again, we see there is no crack or any kind of scratches or any bullet holes or anything like that in the windshield. Okay, but we know this lines up with Altgen's image number 6 because the pure simple fact is we can base this on the way the people is positioned in the car and the people in the surroundings and stuff like that is identical to what we see in both of Altgen's image number 6 and frame 254. Then I went ahead and lined up Altgen's image number 7, and it was taken around frame 394. Okay, so now we have a time frame and time lapse to go in between of when somewhere occurred that the windshield was hit. So we go from frame 254 to 394. So we had that time frame to work with. So what I did was then is I took out this Zapruder film, and this is frame 223 of this Zapruder film, and I know that the throat shot occurred at frame 225. Okay, this is based on other evidence right along with that. But we're going to look at this way. Okay. Now, we're going to go to frame 254. Okay, this is when Alt-Gen took his image number 6. Okay, like I said, we could go back over this and we see there is no destruction or anything in the windshield as we even move it in motion. Okay, here's 254. This is when Alt-Gen snapped that image of number 6. And we continue on. This is frame 255. And as we keep on continue, we still see there is nothing going on around the windshield area. So we're going to keep on continuing and keep on continuing and keep on continuing. And still there is no marks or anything in the windshield. Okay. Now we're going to go all the way to frame. This is frame 293, 294, 295, 296, 297, 298, 299. Here's frame 300. And still there is nothing occurring around the windshield area. Now, when we get to here, this is the fatal headshot to JFK. And then we have another shot that strikes JFK in the back of the head. Now, the reason why I marked this so I can show you what really happened. The bullet passes through, and as you see here, now we know there's something that hit the windshield. Not only we can see a glow that's in the windshield, but watch the reactions of the passenger and the driver when a bullet passes and hit that windshield. See how they start ducking? And see how they're reacting to something hitting that windshield? See, he's looking back. The driver gear is looking back, and the other guy's just looking forward. But as soon as the bullet passed through JFK's head, the opening of JFK's head, it strikes the windshield, and we'll see something strike the windshield right here in the same location as we see in there, and we start seeing reaction from the passenger and Greer, the driver Greer. See how he's going forward, and see how now they're, ducking down a little bit, and they're moving. See how he's moving forward. He's moving forward now, looking around, stuff like that, because the bullet struck the windshield. So actually, the bullet struck the windshield by frame 317. This was after the fatal headshot. So the bullet did struck the inside of the windshield, which we could prove this by just Zapruder film. Now, not only the Zapruder film shows us this, but also the Orville Nix film. Here's frame 23 of the Orville Nix film. When we watch this, okay, we're going to see a reaction. As soon as the fatal headshot happens, then we have the shot to the back of JFK's head and the bullet passes through. Again, we start seeing the same reaction from the driver and the passenger in the Orville Nix film as he is turned around this way, and when the bullet struck and hit the windshield, he turns around real quick. The other passenger, they move forward and stuff because that bullet just struck the windshield. Okay, this can also be shown and proven by the Orville Nix film as well. Okay, so now we already know when that bullet struck the windshield. Now here is a close-up of the windshield, which I'm going to show you here. Okay, there is no bullet hole there. They want to claim there's a bullet hole, but there actually is not no bullet hole there. The hole didn't occur until after the fact, okay? Because people don't understand that when you're doing research in the JFK assassination, when you're looking and studying films and you're studying the images and you're just like autopsy photos and stuff like that, we have to look at everything after the fact, okay? We can't look at it being during that time, except for like the Zapruder film, the Orville Nix film, the Bronson film, and other films and other images that was taken during the time of the assassination. But any images or anything that we see after the assassination, we have to look at after the fact, okay? But we see this windshield, okay? We see there's something sticking inside the windshield, okay? Which we know is a bullet residue, which I'll show you here. And even in the commission report, the Warren Commission report, it says there was a small residue of lead was found on the inside surface of the windshield, okay, which is right here. Okay, now we know this is a close-up of it because when we study this and we look at this, okay, we see how the crack is. Not only do we see the lead sticking inside the windshield, okay, but we see how the crack is right here and right across here. Then when we move up, we see that same crack coming down here and here and here and here, and we see actually that lead sticking right here, which I'll pull this one back up again, right here. Okay. See that piece of lead sticking right here. You see that piece of lead sticking right here, if you watch my cursor. So see, when people want to make claims, okay, before I make any claims, I have to find out facts. I have to find out what actually happened, how this occurred, okay? Just like when we look at this image here. Now this image is the windshield, but this is after, again, after the fact, after they removed it from the limo and after they took the bullet fragment out of the windshield. So we could see that now there is a hole in the windshield. The hole became a hole when they took the lead residue out to place in another envelope or anything for evidence. Okay, that's how they mark it down. When I did research on JFK assassination, when I came across this, okay, a lot of people claimed, well, it's a claim. We've got to remember this. It's a claim and it's a theory. They claimed there was a bullet hole seen. Okay, they even claimed this at Parkland Hospital. There was a bullet hole seen in JFK's limo's windshield. Okay, now we see the images, and like I said, if the government was doing a cover up as well, first off, they wouldn't even actually have this image out that actually shows there was something that struck that inside that windshield right here. As you see here in Algen's image number 7, we see that same kind of crack coming down here and here, and you can see a little bit right here, but we can see that's the same size and shape as we see in the other images, like right here. That's the same size and shape and everything else that we see in the other images. But like I said, we got Algen's image number 7 showing there was destruction in the windshield. We're also seeing this image here, which he also took of the windshield, okay, which shows that piece of lead sticking there. And then they did a close-up of the image. And they show this even in a Warren Commission report. Now, if they're trying to hide something, they would never even show these two images. They wouldn't even took these images, okay, and they would make sure Algen's image number 7 would have never been seen, okay, or shown, or even took a picture of the windshield as it was boxed and put away in evidence file. They wouldn't even done that, okay. The image of the bullet hole or the bullet fragment inside the windshield was struck from the inside of the limo, not the outside of the limo. Okay. It took place by frame 3, what I say it was 3 something. Let's go back. Excuse me. Okay. The windshield was struck on the inside by frame 317 of the Zapruder film. That's when the inside of the windshield was struck by the bullet, because the bullet struck the back of JFK's head, passed through the opening, and struck the inside of the windshield. That's when that bullet and that shot occurred, was during that time by frame 317 of the Zapruder film. Also by the Orville Nix film, we could see by the reactions of the driver and the passenger that we see in the front seat. Their reactions is the same reactions we see in the Zapruder film, but we're just getting it from different angles. And when that bullet struck the inside of that windshield, that's when we start seeing that reaction from the driver, Greer, and the passenger. Okay. Now, a lot of researchers will not, they'll disagree with this. They said, no, it was a frontal throat shot. Alt-Gen image number 6 was altered, and then the Zapruder film being altered and everything else. But when you line up all these films and line up all these images, we can see they all line up with one another, just like Algen's image number 6 lines up for frame 254 to Zapruder film. They're both identical. Zapruder film is showing no bullet holes or anything else or any kind of destruction in the windshield, same as Algen's image number 6. But then we go into the other frame, which is right here. We look at frame 394, okay, which we can't see the windshield, but we know there was a shot taken then, because now we see in Algen's image number 7, we see that destruction in the windshield, which is on the inside. Okay. Other researchers already, they're just willing to pick out one little thing and say, here you go, here's, a new story to sell you. Okay. My research on not that way. I have to look for evidence before I make any kind of claims. Just like right here. Okay. When someone else made this discovery of, instead of talking about the windshield being a frontal shot and that's a throat shot to JFK, They should have did a little bit more investigation. They should look for a little bit more evidence. They should start trying to pinpoint, like I do when I do my research, a pinpoint of when this actually occurred. That's why when I sit there and I look at All-Gens image number 6, and I'm seeing, well, there's no bullet hole in the windshield or any kind of destruction in the windshield. But then when I look at All-Gens image number 7, which was one right after the other, now I see there is destruction inside the windshield and everything else. Well, also in the Warren Commission report, as I pointed out, they talk about the windshield. They talk about gun residue, lead and lead found on the inside of the windshield. Okay, and they took pictures of it and everything else. But I have to work now. The shot occurred between All-Gens image number 6 and All-Gens image number 7. So that's why I went ahead and lined up these images to find out when they occurred, when it was taken. Okay, and I look at the surroundings and the people that's in the vehicle and around the vehicle and everything else. That's how we line them up. And the same way they're posing that's in these images, so we can actually pinpoint exactly when these images was taken. And that's when I found out that All-Gens image number 6 was taken by frame 254 to Zapruder film, and All-Gens image number 7 was taken by 394 of the Zapruder film. So now I have a time frame and time lapse working in between from frame 254 to frame 394 to find out exactly when that windshield shot occurred. Okay. Then when I found this, and then I find more evidence, I look over Orville Nick's film and see the same reactions and everything else. Then we can actually pinpoint exactly where this came from. Remember, the lead was found on the inside of the windshield, so it had to come from inside the car somewhere. Okay, which I pointed out in this Zapruder film that JFK was shot in the back of the head after his head exploded. There was 2 shots fired at the same time, but one made contact to the right side of his head first, and that's what opened up, and the second shot struck JFK in the back of the head. But that bullet went through the opening and then struck the inside of the windshield. Okay, this is how I get my information, because what people don't know is when I do my research, I pinpoint and I look for the answers that people want, okay, and that people needs. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and give you a false claim or a false story by pulling up one image and say, here you go, this is what happened, when it really wasn't what happened. You have to look for it, and that's what I do here. So I wanted to make this video here to let everybody know that there was no frontal shot through the windshield. There was none. There was because they keep on pointing out the fact that, well, the throat shot came from the front because the windshield. Okay, they can't. That's just a story or a theory they made up because they're not showing no evidence to back it up. As for me, when I came across this shot and I come across this information and stuff like that, I had to find out when this shot occurred, how did this shot occur, where this shot came from. Okay, I had to find all this out before I even make any kind of claims on it. So that's why I went over to Zapruder film, went over to Orville Nick's film. I pinpoint when these images was taken and everything else, so I can line everything up to find exactly when that shot occurred. And the shot for inside of the windshield occurred by frame 317 of the Zapruder film. Okay, this shows us, also gives us more information. It shows us that it was not a frontal shot. It also shows us that it was not the fatal headshot. And also shows us it wasn't a throat shot. Okay, so now we can throw all that stuff, all that theory stuff away now, because now we have facts. We can base everything on facts. That's what I do here. I do my research. Okay, and I dig deep, and I pinpoint exactly when these shots occur. I pinpoint when everything happened, so I get more information from it, so I can actually have more of an insight actually what took place that day. So the windshield was never bullet hole was never through the whole windshield. It was never came through the front and exit out through the back. What it was a shot that struck JFK in the back of the head and passed through the opening and struck the inside. It's just a bullet fragment that struck the inside of the windshield. This can be proven not only by the films, by the images, but also in the Warren Commission report. There is, like I said, in the Warren Commission report, there is some truth there. Okay, but they want to push it off to something else. Just like researchers, they want to push it off to something else, but no one's ever took the time to actually pinpoint exactly when this shot occurred, when it took place, but now we know because after all the time I spent on this, pinpointing when this shot occurred and everything else, now we have the information. Now we know when this shot occurred. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Don't forget to hit the like button. Again, I want to apologize for, not editing the beginning of the video and at the end of the video. But like I said, my video maker is down. My editor is down. But I just want to make these videos still because I don't want nothing to stop me because I made some 3 new videos yesterday. And I'm going to start making new videos again. This is another new video. After this, I want to make another video. And both are going to be posted tonight. Like I said, don't forget to tell your friends about us. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share this video. And remember, you want the truth, you're going to find it here. Okay? In the description down below, I'm also going to leave a site where you can actually order my books, okay? Or make a donation to the documentary JFK, The Quest for Answers. But like I said, in my videos, you're going to find pure evidence, pure facts, also in my books as well. Evidence is Conspiracy, which is on Amazon, which I'll leave it in the site down below. So you can order that book if you want to. It's on paperback or Kindle. It'd be a good Christmas present for anybody who's in the JFK assassination. But like I said, in my research, you're going to find total facts. You're going to find total truth. Okay? I'm not in this to put out more false claims, more false stories. Again, I'd like to thank you, and you have a pleasant day. And don't forget the like button. Don't forget the subscribe button. You'll have a pleasant night.